Do you need daily housekeeping in your hotel room? As hotels try to do more with less staff, travelers sound off to Ion, Jersey Joe, and the Brew.
So Joel, does your hotel room, does it need daily housekeeping?
Well, first of all, Joe and I have traveled all over the world, and I am usually the one that screws everything up. So, in fairness to everyone else, and because I'm so critical of people when they screw things up, I'm not super cleanly. So I will say yes, that housekeeping is pretty important. But even on the days that we don't screw anything up, I would still like the sheets and towels changed.
Yeah, that's a good point. The thing that brought this conversation up is a lot of hotels are cutting back on housekeeping now. They're using COVID as that excuse. And some of them haven't gone back, even though they're fully booked now. So do I think they need daily housekeeping? I don't need the whole room cleaned and vacuumed every day, but at least every other day the garbage is taken out. You need fresh towels at least, so whether you're dirty or not. Especially like if it's just Joel and I, we often share a room together, we'll go through all the towels in 2 days. If you have a family, then you need daily housekeeping, I think. As a family, you're gonna go through that twice as much. And when these hotels just aren't cleaning the room that much, then they wonder why the rooms are trashed when people leave, because they're just not cleaning them up.
Yeah, what they do, they kind of do everything else with the American structure. Like, they just do a little bit less than what they need to do, and that's why everything's a little tiny bit shitty. It's just like, you can do a little bit more and just make everyone's life easier. Even Joe, what Joe just said is like half of what I agree with. Like, most of what you said is like half, is like what I'm trying to say too. This is like my 15th of these, so... If I sound off,
that's a good point though, because like when you and I are in a room like that, we have a garbage can full of those or full of other food scraps. You always bring back a piece of pizza or something or wings. They're always getting food in the room.
Right.
So after 2 days, that garbage can is already overflowing. Now, when we stay in a hotel for a week, yeah, that room is going to reek.
Yeah, and the garbage can's like a foot tall on the ground. It's tiny. They're tiny. And then when Joe and I were in Minneapolis, like I was vomiting because we were flying so far away and drinking so much alcohol that my body was like, wow, I can't believe you're still alive. Let's keep that going.
I think my other thing about that is too, when you do go to a hotel like that, and then if you do need more towels, well, I don't want to have to walk all the way down to the front desk and wait in line and get them. Like, I should be able to call and say, hey, can you just drop that off? But even that, like, yeah, call me, make it easier for me as the customer, not put it all on me. But that's how it feels like it is now. It's all on the customer.
That's a marketing design. That's a marketing design. Because if they came up every single day for every single room, it would be nicer for people like you and me and everyone else. But they want it to be on you because it'll cost less if they don't have to do it for every room every day. And they know people like you and I, and you and I are more like in your face than most people, but a lot of people have social anxiety and don't want to call the desk and don't want to go ask for things, especially dudes. It's just a thing. And it's like, that's a marketing ploy. That's specifically a way to save money.
Well, let's see what our viewers have to say about this one, because the answers are all over the place. So, do you want daily housekeeping? Let's find out. Heather says, I would just like the old towels taken and new towels daily. I can deal without the sweeping and bed making. Oh, she agrees with me. Real Treats Tweet says, no, I always tell them when I check in. I don't need it until I check out. If I need more towels, I'll come down and ask. Bronx Bombers 46, I don't have the need to stay in hotels too often, but every other day for housekeeping is acceptable. So right there, you've got two viewers that said every other day. You had me saying every other day. So I think we have a good answer for these hotels who still want to like not pay full salary and cut back. Okay, maybe it's every other day over not at all.
Yeah, and like for those people, that's fine, but they wouldn't even put the option on, like Joe, when you and I are booking hotels, because we routinely book hotels together. There's got to be 2 beds. There's going to be a lot of trips with people like us. We're not very hardcore about we need every little thing, but they should make that an option. The problem is if they make that an option, they know more people are going to pay attention to the housekeeping, and they can skim by and make more money if people don't pay attention to the housekeeping. So service is kind of sacrificed at the cost of them making one tiny bit more percentage of money.
There is one hotel chain, the Caesars casinos out there in Vegas. They're all nationwide. They at least were giving you the option where if you are booking in one of their rooms and say, you don't want the daily housekeeping, I think they were throwing you like a $5 or $10 food voucher or something. They were at least giving you something off of your bill. Now, they still charge a resort fee and all that, but they were giving you something, whereas a lot of other hotels aren't even doing that. You don't have the option. It's just like, no, COVID rules, and then that's it.
If you're going to use those rules as an excuse for anything, then you need to be completely consistent all the way across the board. And by the way, Joe, like those companies are trying to make money off. They're like, hey, Joe spent $200 this month. It's like they're not getting it back. They're definitely getting more than what they charge. They're just trying to make it look like it's a little bit different.
Yeah, they are. And again, they're using COVID as an example of cutting back. Now, they do have a staffing shortage nationwide and everything because nobody wants to pay anybody anything, and understandably why. So they definitely need to figure out a way to make it more affordable for the person to work there, the person to stay. Like right now, the mathematical equation seems to be trying to lean towards the corporations making more money. Yes, because they did lose during COVID and all that. But now it's like, with airlines going up, like the cost of travel has just gotten really out of control.
The cost of travel, the cost of living, pretty much everything is unregulated. So when you're dealing with that, you do get shitty housekeeping, and even like when Joe and I were in Minneapolis, yeah, I took an L because it was obviously my fault. Some shit happened, but at the same time, housekeeping wasn't there every day. Do you remember it being there every day, Joe? I don't remember. We were there, 4 or 5 days, and I don't think they came one time.
They did not come at all once. When we checked in, they said I had to go down to the desk and get if we wanted anything, which where we were in the hotel, the desk was nowhere convenient to the room. Sure, we could not be so lazy. We could walk down and go get stuff, but by the time we get out, we're trying to start our day and do things. I don't want to go down there waiting in some line because they only had one person working the desk. Other people are trying to check out, check in, asking questions. I don't want to waste more of my vacation time waiting in line to get 2 towels.
And they know it.
Yeah.
And they know it.
Yeah. All right, got more comments. Let's get to that right now. Starman says, I hear hotels are cutting back. That's what we just said. But are they cutting back on resort fees? No. Nope.
Not. You're getting shittier service and higher fees.
I did a little research for this show, and it was in Atlantic City. There was an article, and I think it was New Yorker magazine. I forget. It was a national publication, and they interviewed the housekeepers at several of the Atlantic City casinos, and they had said, well, they basically usually have half an hour to clean one room, but now because they're only getting the rooms every couple of days, the rooms are trash, and it takes them longer to clean things because they're not able to get in there and clean them daily. So actually, hotel housekeepers don't want that. They want to clean the rooms daily because it's making their job harder, and they still got to turn rooms every half an hour. With less staff, so their tips are down too, so they're absolutely like, no, we don't want this at all. We definitely need daily housekeeping.
Yeah, that's just another symptom of the big divide between the people that own everything and the people that don't own shit. They don't understand that makes their job much harder, or if they do understand it, they don't care because it's obvious to people like you and I, and we're not even housekeepers.
Well, here's something every marketing person in a hotel and every CEO should look, because we're average people, and we have our poll coming up here right now, and we flat out ask people, how often do you want daily housekeeping or not? Here's the number. 67% said yes, they do. They want daily housekeeping. Only 33% said no. So ladies and gentlemen, if you run a hotel, look at that. Your consumers want daily housekeeping. The numbers are right there by average Americans that took our poll. So there's the answer.
Yeah, absolutely. And they should be treated well by the hotel. Pay them. Joe and I know what we are paying to stay, which you barely have to do anything for. You barely have to do anything for our money. Pay your housekeepers. Hook them up. Hook your customers up and hook your housekeepers up.
So there we go. We actually have an official answer for this episode of The Brew, and hey, you want daily housekeeping, and all right, I don't disagree. What else is good when you click that like, subscribe button for more fun here in the Big Jersey Joe 50 YouTube channel, 4 big shows waiting for you every week. And there's also a good old show I did way back in the early days down in Bally's, Atlantic City, where it was Do You Tip the Hotel Maid? And a lot of you absolutely said you make sure that you do too. And they do try to clean your room. So, we always try to toss them a little something, especially if we've been there like a long time, then maybe give them a little something more. And they appreciate it. That one time I did that one show, Joel, I went in Vegas there where I tipped the maid $20, and all of a sudden all these like shampoos and like soap showed up. Like, she was so appreciative of that. And it's like, yeah, you do a hard job, and they should be rewarded for it.
I agree with Joe, by the way. It is good to tip them, but B, the system of forcing them to have to do like decent service for a tip is really anti-housekeeper and customer. Pay them a living wage, period, and don't put it on the middle class to bail out the lower class. Period.
This show got serious all of a sudden.
It's a real serious topic. And especially because like I've been in shitty jobs like that. Like I know how that goes. Like that's not ethical. That is not an ethical stance.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's just more than housekeeping though that has that problem too. It's across the board.
Well, I don't expect you to answer the number question. But Joe, how much money? Think about it. How much money have you and I spent on hotels, even in the last 5 years?
I don't even. It's definitely 4 figures. Probably maybe even 5.
It's enough to staff, and that's just 2 people.
Yeah. I mean, we do travel a lot, but yeah, the number, it's up there. So that's a very, very good point. Whew, this thing did get a hot topic here on the Brew. All right.
Hey, gotta happen sometime.
Yeah. Well, thanks for all your great answers, and we'll try to get even a bigger topic for next week. Jersey Joe, Ian saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time, I hope.
Caption funny photos, win Amazon gift cards. Get in on the next round of Caption This and spin to win.